Welcome to part 3 of my life story. If you could please subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. So, this is where it all started to go downhill. I can almost pinpoint exactly when, but there were other events that took place before the event, but I'll get into that. Alright, so that first year of I was talking about coming to a middle school, like not knowing anybody, or like how that was, and how sports kind of got me in the door of like people actually like talking to me and trying to be my friend instead of calling me Point Dexter and like laughing at me and stuff. Which, like, if you saw a picture of me in the yearbook, you would be like, yeah, I get why they called you Point Dexter. If I find my yearbook, I'll show you guys. So, anyways, that made it so, like, towards the end of the year, I ended up meeting, like, a group of kids that I guess you could call them, like, the popular kids or something. And it just so happened that they were some of the people that lived by me where I moved, which I had no clue when I moved over there. So it was just natural that like a group of us would like walk uh, home, and like there was a couple girls, and there was a couple of like my really good friends. So it wasn't like I tried to like weasel my way into like some friend group or something like that. It was just naturally like right there for me. Like I didn't really have to try. So it was nice, like having like I hadn't think about it, like my social life up until that point was like sports. Like I didn't really have like a friend group or people coming over my house or like stuff like that. It was different, but it was cool. So I can actually like remember a time that this is like 7th grade. So this is before the shit hit the fan, but this is like just like some fate shit that like just trust me, okay? So one day it's me, my friend Max, my friend Spencer, and my friend Eric. And we're skateboarding, and we're just like going from like one place to another. So we're going like down like this little hill. Like it's not like a steep hill, so it was just a gradual hill where you didn't have to like push, but you could still like go down. So we're all together and we're going down the thing, and my wheel hits something, and it causes me to like I know if you've ever skated and you've hit a rock and the rock stops your wheel and it like propels you forward. That's what happened to me. But when I looked and saw what I ran over, I looked and saw that it was a lighter. It was like one of those clear, like we always called them crack lighters. So like we saw that, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm not even joking, like maybe 10 feet, like 10, like, that happened. I got up, dusted myself off, got back on my skateboard, started riding down the hill again, kind of slow. And then my skateboard hits something again. I don't fall, but it causes me to like jump off my board, and I was able to keep my balance. And I look down and I see that it's a full pack of Marlboro Lights, a full pack of cigarettes, not even opened or anything, just right there. So it was like fate telling me like, hey, try smoking. Like seriously. So me and my friends, like I can remember like we went to our middle school, but it was like on the weekend or later at night or something. And we went to our middle school and we literally just smoked a whole pack of cigarettes. And like that was like the main, like just it was just the way that happened is just crazy. And like I had little things where like I had a friend who he would bring me random like contraband at school, where one time he brought me a little bottle of Patron, that not a little bottle, but it was probably like this big or whatever. And another time he brought me a whole carton of Marlboro Lights. Whole carton. So, and one of those times I got called up to like the office and searched and stuff. So I had to like give someone my shit. And I just got lucky the way that that happened. I have a story about it if you look for it. So, anyways, like things were already like starting to go that way, whether I liked it or not, kind of. I mean, I guess I could have decided to not take a part of that, but anyways, in those days, everybody was skating. That was like the main thing, was skating. So we're like going to like different skate parks and like locally and like skating different spots. Like we had like a shitty like VHS cassette like camcorder thing that we would like try to like film stuff on or whatever. And I end up in the 7th grade. I end up breaking my arm, and I broke my arm. I have it already, like, I have a story where I specifically talk about it if you go look for it. But my arm like went up to like right here, and then it went that way. Like I didn't break the skin, but the bone was like pushing out. Like it didn't break the skin. So I moved it back into place, and then I ended up, going to the hospital. And you could say that that's the first time that I got a taste of pharmaceutical drugs in a sense, because I had to get painkillers. And I was like 12 or 13 or something. It was just a totally different time. But I do remember them giving me something that made me feel better, that I was like, okay. So I break my arm, and like I was always a good student, but it made me lazy for sure. Like because I broke my right arm, and I write with my right arm, even though I'm kind of ambidextrous to the point where like I could make it work with my left, but I'm not going to tell anybody that. So I just like didn't have to do schoolwork for like that whole time. And I had people that were doing homework for me and, you know, all that stuff. But it made me like a lazier person for sure. Like, and I hate to like blame it on that per se, but I was a very active kid before that, and I would do a lot and whatever, and it just kind of like took me out and sidelined me, if you will. So, that sucked. I couldn't skate, I had to like watch all my friends have fun, couldn't like do so much stuff. And then I get my cast taken off. That happened the week of Thanksgiving, when my 7th grade year. I get the cast taken off, and not even a month later, I'm skating in my friend's backyard, and I'm doing a rail, and I fall with my weight forward, and I fall with all my weight on my arm, snap my arm again. It goes to right there, goes out like a 7. I move it back into place again, and then I had to go to the hospital again and get a cast again, and I was out of commission for like literally like a whole year. I was out of commission, not being able. I still to this day keep my important stuff in my left side of like my pockets, on my side and in my back, because I'm used to having to get it with my left hand even though I'm right-handed. So like this happened so like 10, 15 longer years ago, and I still am programmed like that. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. So that made me even more lazy, and it just like totally like helped perpetuate me of like not really living that like lifestyle of doing things a lot. And I kind of slipped in with the people that didn't do stuff like that, and more like street type stuff was more their thing, of selling weed and like different stuff like that. And because I was friends with those type of people as well, like, so it was just unfortunate that I was like an athletic type person, but I was taken out of commission for basically a whole year. So obviously that left me with a lot of time on my hands to experiment, to get into shit that maybe I shouldn't have, maybe I wouldn't have if I wasn't so bored and trying to like compensate for doing something. But I'm just going to end it right there, but just know that that is like where I mark things going downhill, because it only gets worse from there, from that point. Up until that point, I was doing good. I was a good kid, normal kid, and everything, as normal as you can imagine, I guess. But after that, every single thing was just downhill, 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 downhill. Like, there's plenty more crazy calamity drama bullshit. So I hope you stick around for the story. I appreciate anybody who's been coming back and following it. It really means a lot to me. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good night. And one last thing is something that's crazy. This shirt right here, I bought this shirt and I wore this shirt on the first day of 10th grade, which was 2009 or 2010. So this is a 15-year-old LRG shirt. So it's just something I noticed that probably no one gives a fuck about, but I just thought it was interesting. So anyways, hope you guys have a good one. Peace.